fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scandal, we can't buy time. You can't fool me again. Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. Hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You touch up line and a resort to crime. You can't fool me again.
What we gonna eat no money, what we at you, eat no at you. COVID money, miss away in the your little rat you. Use the youth, the money, waste my must have statue. Say me like a catch you, but me got in a figure you. Take this script of money, gal and say that it's not you. One day the man above end up in my gutter. Too much it in the kitchen, some a fly well like a patu. When singers and DJs and social media's coming at you.
It burn me.
300% raise.
It burn me.
Garbage pile of it.
It burn me.
Give the teacher them raise.
It burn me.
I see corruption face.
It burn me.
Mash down the people them house.
It burn me.
Every day appear arms out.
It burn me.
Appear money them a thief.
It burn me.
And them a sell out with each.
Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scandal, we can't buy time. You can't fool me again. Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. You touch up line and a resort to crime. You can't fool me again.
Come me say big up all the charities and all of the givers. Some a go like say them powerful, me no make a bigger. The already promises, none of them not deliver. Cut up the youth, them rapper, they down in our fever. Member bold money and they lie them tell. Corruption smell and they pocket them swell. When police don't a market like Satan out of hell, go mash up people start like thief when them sell.
It burn me.
Or they treat the market man.
It burn me.
Or them a treat the cat man.
It burn me.
Or they treat the peanut man.
It burn me.
Or them a treat the dirt man.
It burn me.
Or them a treat the son man.
It burn me.
Or them a treat policeman.
It burn me.
Or them a treat soldier man.
It burn me.
Or them a treat everyone.
Can't fool me again. You can't fool me again. You hold me down for a very long time. Can't buy sugar, we can't buy lime. Can't buy scandal, we can't buy time. You can't fool me again. Can't fool me again. You can't.
Well, my party people in the house here ready for this. Global TV, me say we're ready for this. The latest, it's say we're ready for this. Boom, bam, bam. One global TV, man. Dan English said that. Don't touch this dial.
Boom! I mean, I say a couple to the flex they represent for Wayne Global TV. Né? So I say, you know the code, you know, Wayne Global TV is what fully blessed on 90 days. So I say, yeah man, to the fullest. Yeah man, make sure them log in to Wayne Global TV. So I say, check it out. So I say, one cup of flex. So I say, Wayne Global. When you watch you know, see them a plan up and a try to put them on the pan we head. But man, I live too long, them want Wayne Global fitted. To him juggle so smooth that them want him life for dread. I throw the bank, I like the break, but we ain't all about the bread. We open up in the ears and don't listen when we said, cause we lyrics them so smooth like the linen on the bed. Them one with a fall, travel living on the edge, I must say true, we make this them. We ain't Global TV, we are 90, anointed. Who Jaja bless, no man can curse. Give it the Range Rover, who drive yours. Boom! We in Global TV to the fullest one cup of excellence. See me?
Good night. While the Prime Minister wants Spanish Town Badman, I have no doubt that all of us will be having our eyes on the Prime Minister, Christopherson, and Nigel Clark-Finger. Good night and welcome to your nightly program, The People's Point of View. Let me say good night to those over TikTok, and let me first apologize for having up the wrong screen cover thumbnail over TikTok. My apology for that. I'm kind of daft enough how to change it at the moment while I'm live, but my apologies. Thank you very much for joining. Good evening to those on the X, those on Twitch, on Facebook, on YouTube. Welcome, welcome, and Thanks for joining us. This evening, I'm literally out here to say hi and goodbye because my eyes feel like somebody just threw a handful of sand into them, so they're terribly cheating me terribly by just grabbing me. However, as usual, I want to say good evening to Beat and Teach, good evening to Sunshine, good evening to Debbie Jervis, good evening to Allison, good evening to Carlene, good evening to Sefina. I hope I'm calling your name correct because I have terrible pronunciation with long words. Good evening, Nicola. Good evening. Good evening to all of those who are here. Yes, Debbie, I need sleep. My eyes are groveling me terribly. So that's why I'm not even going to be here long tonight. Good evening, Alison David. Good evening. I'm not even going to be here long, but I just need to ramble about a few issues. Good evening, Leah. Good evening. Good evening. Okay, good evening, Parkins. Good evening. Good evening. Spruce Up the Corner. Good evening, Elijah. Good evening. Good evening, and welcome to our nightly broadcast. Thank you all very much for joining me this evening and another session. Spruce Up the Corner. Spruce up pan the corner. This is one of Edmund Bartlett's initiative. You all know that I'm not going to do any reading for you, but all the articles are there in the description area. You just hit on them and it takes you straight to the article. So please do feel free to have a read for yourself of the articles I've put in the description area. Spruce up pan the corner. All constituencies to be benefit. All constituencies to benefit from spruce up pan the corner. Another slogan. Another slogan to target poor people. Good evening, Natalia. Good evening and welcome. Another slogan to target poor people, to target ghetto people. Spruce up pan the corner, they said. But it's another one of Edmund Bartlett's initiative. But what I want to ask Edmund Bartlett, because they're using the spruce up pan the corner as a part of their tourism development to revitalize constituency across Jamaica and bring, possibly, if we could believe them, bring the tourist dollars into local towns and communities. Spruce up pan the corner. Follow the narrative. Because the spruce up pan the corner can be the same narrative of not go sleep with no window and door open. Good night, Nikita McLeod. Spruce up pan the corner narrative is one of Edmund Bartlett's initiative. But you know, so when them a spend, when I see the money there, when I know if me call the number, me go confuse myself. But the spruce up on the corner I would want to ask Edmund Bartlett, how well is Spruce Up the Corner? How well will Spruce Up the Corner help or benefit those young men, help or benefit those young men whose livelihood were destroyed by Ed Bartlett, Horace Strang, which have oversight for the police at the government level. And then Ed Bartlett sent Delano Steve Wright out with another crafted narrative to make it look like the reason why we have to dismantle their livelihood is because most of them here are criminals. Good evening to Overcomer. I believe you're on Facebook. Good evening. Most of the people here are involved in criminality and all sorts of antics that Delano Steve Wright could make up to say, this is why we have to dismantle it. We later learn in a secret recording. Blessings, Overcomer, blessings. We later learn in a secret recording from Delano Steve Wright, who gave the narrative on the day when they dismantle the narrative we were given is that a lot of criminalities were going on in that vicinity. Thus, the government have to curb the crime and take back control. But later on, we learned that no, it was just government bad mind and government badmanism, because Delano Steve Wright said the people. Ado James, good evening, and welcome. Delano Steve Wright said, we knew it was government bad mind and government badness because Delano Steve Wright said, them a make money and them nah do anything with it. So we have to reset that whole industry. Is the reset, is this Spruce Up the Corner? Spruce Up the Corner by Ed Bartlett and his team. Is the whole Spruce Up the Corner by Ed Bartlett and his team an initiative that is going to benefit from that how much a million? I'm not call the name for me, 250 million to spruce up 63 constituency. How are you going to divide the 250 million between the 63 constituency? Labour Right constituency are going to get more than People's National Party constituency. How much of that money will be swindled by the middleman? How much of those money will go into kickback from contracts or whatever? What will be the Spruce Up the Corner? Always observing, good evening. What will be the Spruce Up the Corner project that would bring economic and financial benefit to the 63 constituencies? Because them people love to just tell with the nice things them. All like how election a come now, them have to spruce way up. Them have to spruce way up. with sweet lies, as Beres Hammond would have it. Them want to spruce way up with sweet lies. Because our finger get red in our political system. Our finger get red is a plus to politicians and their personal and political endeavor, but not necessary for those of you who redden your finger in the name of supporting your political party and your political personality. How Ed Bartlett will spruce up the thing, spruce up the can, spruce up on the can, Edmund Bartlett. How will this money be distributed across the 63 constituency? Who will have oversight, Edmund Bartlett? Is it your department or Nigel's department that will have oversight of how this money are spent and what are the projects that Spruce Up on the Corner will be bringing into communities that will bring economic benefit and financial benefit to communities across the country. So this is another thing to watch going into local government election. How much lies, how much unfulfilled rehash lies? Because this spruce up the thing, if I remember well, from what I was reading, it's not quite new. They've used it before. But funny enough, local elections is just around the corner. So they're all drawing back. Good night, Sharon Powell. Good night. How are you? Stacy, good night and welcome. How are you? So now that local government election is around the corner, no doubt, spruce up on the corner. Spruce up on the corner is another election ploy to garner votes from a lot of the constituencies where voter apathy would be no doubt in high demand. Keep your eyes open and your ears alert. Prof. Gorgeous Lady, good night and welcome. Keep your eyes and ears alert because we will be having a lot of lies and promises chucked at us on a daily basis, assisted by the Gleaner and Nationwide to blind us with narrative on a daily basis because it's a whole brand new fool them all over again. From 2016 to now, at the local government level, them never have to walk and tell us what them are going to do for the community or how much them are going to spend in our community. Last year, the end of last year, I think around about conference time, Holness told us $40 billion to spend on our local road. Now Ed Bartlett is rolling out $250 million to split across. And let me tell you, this is vote Biden. Even though the 63 constituency is across the country, why not the 14 parishes? Because each MP is going to be given this spruce up the corner money. And if we all know how the roadwork system go in a Jamaica. Spruce Up the corner for me, as I said earlier this morning, sound like high-end road work. Give us a breakdown, Delano, because your mouth always sound full. Give us a breakdown of the projects that we can look to see this 250 millions going into across the nation and how it will put long-term economic growth and stability in all these 63 constituencies across the country. If not, Patricia Matthews, good evening, and welcome. If not election buying, come and tell us how this 250 million will be dispersed across these 63 constituencies, and who is going to have the oversight of those money. Is it the same crooked MPs that will be given the money to swindle, will have oversight over those money? Or Rob Thompson, good evening. Not son, Thomas, good evening. Who will have oversight of the disbursement and spending of the 63, of the 250 million in the 63 constituency that one could possibly argue that just high-class vote buying. Since 2016, the Prime Minister and his team never really have to make us any local government promises. They didn't really care. Now the local government promises are rolling out of the bag. 40 billion to fix your local roads. 250 million to spruce up your corners. Keep your eyes and ears focused for the rest to come. But when you go to the poll, this local government election, do not make your decision underlying promises. Make your decision futuristic. Spruce up the corner. Thief, I watch thief, I watch thief, I watch thief. Thief, I watch thief, I watch thief, I watch thief. Andrew Holness, I want him bad man friend them when grow with a Spanish stone. So me know say the whole on a boy are extortionist. And two me know no, me I go one no far now. This is me paraphrasing. Two me know the whole on. Me and no grow together. The same chickenery and crookedness. Wanna see me apply in a parliament. I right on the street at Spanish Town, so me learn it. I right in the community at Spanish Town, so me learn it. Me wanna learn the crookedness together. Me and Uno learn the crookedness together. So don't try with me because me can do a project down where me come from. So Uno not try with me because member say the whole away a thief. And at the end of the day, me are the bigger thief because me pull the bigger the bigger purse string. Thief, I want thief, say me know say you're thief. Thief, I want thief, say me know say you're thief. Is it extortionist Prime Minister? Is it Horace Chang, bad man them, down a Montego Bay, while Cornwall Regional is so horribly overrun in time and budget? Is it extortion why Cornwall Regional has become a war zone makeshift hospital? Because there are one Spanish Town extortionist them. Yeah, one Spanish Town extortionist them. Where you and them learn together, you and them come from the same community and learn the same trade. You do it at a higher class. But is it Spanish Town extortionists? Is it because of the extortionists from Spanish Town men why Cornwall Regional Hospital is so terribly overrun in time and in budget? Give us some accountability before Dr. Tufton move on to his next big project of money swindling, money misappropriation, under budgeting, overspending, wrong timeline estimation. Was that because of extortionists? Or is it because of crooked and shoddy government administrative and logistics? A long time you get involved in a shoddy contracts and Holness. Your track record at the Ministry of Education suggests so. So given that, good night, head teacher K, good night, welcome, how are you? So given that Holness, your track record don't show you well when it comes to fingerference, then I am more concerned that the nation should be warning the Prime Minister, Nigel Clark, and Chris Tufton on that money that they're going to invest in Spanish Town Hospital upgrade. But Prime Minister, will you or Chris Tufton or the contractors be able to stick to the 24 months? Or will there be a lot of chopping between that 24 months where Chris Tufton is going to come back to us within 24 months of the commencement of the project to say we need more money? Would that be the problem coming from extortion or from embezzlement and misappropriation? Leave Spanish Town bad man them alone. You and them grow together. You're crooked just like them. You were meant to give us a crime plan and Holness that would deal with the extortion in Spanish Town. Extortion in Spanish Town and Kingston is a generational thing. But because we've got a white-collar crime government, a chopping government, a government of choppers, a government aligned with dons and gangs and criminals, a government who, in Badman Fred, have plaza and license gun, but is not able to show assets. Have license guns, but not able to show by which route him achieve that. I wonder if the Prime Minister give a whisper in the ear or a tap on the shoulder to those in the firearm license authority. It would be interested to know. And finally tonight, our crooked system, who we are always and has always been calling out, or child protection services, in the way child protection is treated in Jamaica, the way vulnerable children are treated in Jamaica, whether be it in homes like Sunbeam or residential foster home or private foster care, but the care of our children, and this is not just Jamaica, this is a global thing where the plight of women and children, a blind eye is often turned, or a head is often turned by society when it comes to a lot of abuse and violence against women and children. Sunbeam has always been under the scope, but not them. A lot of our child protection apparatus in Jamaica has a woeful character. Good night, Chanel. Good night. A woeful character when it comes to the protection of our children. Ministry of Education and those with the responsibility. Ricardo Barnett, good night. Good night and welcome. Ministry of Education and those with the responsibility in the Child Protection Agency is moving into de-license the Sunbeam residents because of the whole child abuse issue going on there. I'm not going to say, is it too little too late, but is it too little too reluctant? Because I'm sure this Sunbeam nursing home, if I'm not mistaken, is pivotal to Money Bain's story as well. I remember Sunbeam in a lot of these arguments. Is this too little too reluctant to deal with a massive problem that affects the vulnerable? But I even want to ask a further question. Where is the photo I'm looking for? I want to ask a further question with regards to the missing young lady, the missing 14-year-old who is now back home. I'm trying to find the photo, 1 sec. The missing 14-year-old who is now back home will, if they have not already done so, or if there isn't an ongoing probe, will those with the responsibility for child protection investigation look into the pregnancy of this young lady, who she got pregnant for? Was it reported to child protection? Did her family report anything to child protection or the police? We need to become more robust when it comes to the protection of our children. If we are working towards a more peaceful, law-abiding society, we cannot be abusing children going forward, while at the same time removing all sorts of discipline from society. but expect to have a well-held together society. Diffusing, good night, Lilith, how are you? Good night. Diffusing all of the moral standards of society, but you still want to have law-abiding and peaceful society when you fail to do the things that allow a democratic society to thrive peacefully. These are the issues I wanted to highlight tonight. As you know, my eyes are tired and I'm going to retire to bed. But in passing, before ending, I want to say to Fitzbailey, we are still on the issue of investigating your crimes, Fitzbailey, because a cover-up of a crime is worse than the committed crime. And so far, Fitzbailey, we know that you've covered up the death of Jermaine Young, and Jermaine Jr., rather. We know you attempted to cover up the death of Donnelly Donaldson. You did not manage that successfully because you were exposed. You then went on, Fitzbailey, to cover up the death of Reverend Orville Moore. Not only did you do that, but you lied blatantly to us in public and camera. Now in front of us, Fitzbailey, you are lying to us to protect another high-profile criminal, a former member of parliament with close ties to the People's National Party and the Jamaica Labour Party. This wall of deafening silence, Fitzbailey, will not suffice. All of us are waking up. All of us are observing. And what we will not do is let a story that affects all of us die and be treated like it never happened. This is where we end it tonight. I am going straight off to get my sleep. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you to those on TikTok, to those on Twitch, on the X, on Facebook, and on YouTube. Thank you very much for joining us another night for our People's Point of View program. We will be back tomorrow morning, providing we get our proper rest. We will be back with our morning program or at a glance program, and possibly in the afternoon as well, or Drive Time London, Lunchtime Global. This is your producer saying good night and thank you very much for being here.